Yeah, mate, we got hards on. We're going to the end.
No Formula One this week. No Formula One. And I've actually planned out some proper segments now to sort of make episodes better as we go. I actually mentioned them briefly. I haven't got them written down, so I have to do it off the top of my head. But we're going to split things into three sectors. I know, much like a racetrack. Oh, look at the brain going. Look at the brain going. Three sectors. The first sector of the pod will talk about what did I call it? Rate my quali. Rate my quali. Because to me, qualifying is always something where I rarely want to talk about individual performances. It's like, yeah, sure, some will do a lap quickly and sometimes someone will do a lap slowly. And it's just kind of like, ugh, I don't know. I find qualifying is something I have to watch. Like, I never want to miss it. But it's never actually that interesting. It's like it's interesting for about a minute at a time. The last like 20 seconds of each knockout stage, whatever it's called, I forgot, of Q1, Q2, Q3. That part's interesting, but especially this season where it's kind of just like, okay, the Red Bulls are doing well and everyone else is doing shit, and they're relatively to their car, right? Kind of just like, I would rather just rate the quality as a whole instead of rating each individual driver's performance. Like, oh, did Norris tap the corner and do badly here? Oh, Red Bull again, he gets an A. He gets an A star. Oh, Hamilton probably gets a C, got out qualified by Russell for the third week in a row. I kind of just want to briefly brush over the quality, because by the time I get to Sunday or Monday or whenever I do the actual breakdowns or whatever, not breakdown, professional, but talk about like the race and stuff. Quali is something towards the back of my brain, and especially if we've had like a sprint race weekend as well. It's something that's just like so far in the back of my brain now, the qualifying, that I always never want to talk about that long. So Sector 1, we're kind of going to have a rate my quali, and we're going to give the quali like a rating out of 10. I'm a big 10, or we could do A's to C, A's to F, or whatever's easier. Probably A's to F. I don't know. We'll give it an A to F, actually. I think that's better. We'll grade it A to F. Look, we're doing it all on the spot. You're with me for the process, right? An A to F. By the way, today I am doing predictions for the Aussie Grand Prix, mate. That was a bad accent. For the Aussie Grand Prix, so that we are getting to that. But yeah, we'll do rate my quali, rate A to F, and how exciting it was, how much sort of things we didn't expect to happened. Sector 2 is just the race rundown, running down the race, lap 1 to whatever. Any big crashes, any funny team radios, any great overtakes, any lucky bastards, maybe like George Russell or Max Verstappen, who I feel like get pretty good luck when it comes to safety cars and things like that. And yeah, just things like that. And then obviously the winners of the race, or winner of the race, you don't typically get more than one, do you, mate? And then Sector 3 will be the awards, the awards, the hard-on awards. The hard-on rewards, where we will give a soft award, a medium award, and a hard award. But that doesn't just mean like, oh, disaster, like had a bad weekend, had a medium weekend, had a good weekend. Soft weekend, there's nuance to all of these, right? Soft, your weekend was limp. So stop with the innuendos. I understand the name of the show. It was limp. You kind of it was very quiet. Like you went onto the radar, nothing really happened to you. You kind of finished P14. You started like P13, maybe P14, and you kind of just like, I didn't even see you. You just had one of those weekends. It was like, was you even driving? Medium award will go to whoever I thought had a mid performance, but not in the sense that just like, oh, they did okay, maybe they made a couple overtakes. It's more in the sense that I think they had a slightly overrated weekend. They just did okay. Maybe I could see this award going to like Pierre Gasly some weekends. Maybe he started like P14, finished like P11, but all his overtakes happened because of other teams having bad pit stops. And I just thought a lot of people were giving you credit for going up a few positions, but ultimately it was just okay, and you're getting the medium award this week. And then the hard tire award goes to the most aggressive performance, the sexiest performance. You maybe you finished P3, you could get the hard award because you made the best overtakes, or you had like, maybe only made one good overtake, but your team radio you made this week, they were fire, they were angry, they were as aggressive, and you just captured my heart and inspired me. You were the funnest driver of the week, and you get the hard award, because I think it's so easy just to be like, driver of the weekend, and just go for whoever won, or just go for whoever made the most overtakes. It's very like that way. It's less about opinions. It's just everyone's going to give the same awards because it's just something very objective. You look at it and go, right, who made the most overtakes, or who won. There you go. And who DNF'd or who like got overtaken a lot. Okay, you're the L of the weekend. You know what I mean? It's too easy to do that. So that's that. In terms of predictions for this, and after all those three sectors, we'll do a manifestation zone, which is kind of predictions for next week, but it's less going to be predictions. This is what I'm doing right now. It's more going to be what I want to happen, and we're going to manifest it, which I don't even really believe in, but because it's never worked for me yet. But we're going to try and manifest what we want to happen this week, and hopefully one day that will come true, and we will see. Lando Norris P1, which we still yet to see. But in terms of real predictions for the Australian Grand Prix, and this is no manifestation. This is not going to be what I want, just what I think. For being real, if we're doing a be real, what are we saying? If we talk in quali, I'm going to say George Russell has outqualified Hamilton twice, 2 out of 2 times so far. I'm going to say Hamilton. Okay, am I manifesting here? I'm going to say Hamilton. He makes it 2-1. I'm going to say pole is taken by... See, I'm not... Here's the thing. I don't know stuff like, Australia has high-speed corners, or like it's got a lot of straights. So I mean, I've played it on the game, so I can like visualize the track on stuff, which sounds like a lame thing to say. But I don't know which cars are best for, or things like that. I want to say pole gets taken by either Alonso. I'm gonna say pole gets taken by Alonso. I'm gonna say Lando Norris will get into Q3. I'm going to say Albon will get into Q2. And I'm going to say Perez will crash. I had a real big crash in terms of any of the races or qualifyings yet. And I'm just going to be like, I'm just going to say it. I like a good old crash. I love a crash. Obviously, no one's got to get injured or hurt. Maybe I want them to get slightly winded. That's not a crime. No one's got to get hurt. Love a good crash. It just throws a spanner in the works. I don't like maybe a race that's been delayed by rain for 2 hours, and then you get a crash on the first lap, and then they red flag it, and we've got to finish under a safety car after doing like 20 laps. That type of shit pisses me off, especially when you're watching a race like it started at 5 a.m. and you're so tired. You're like, oh, race resumes in 45 minutes, and you're like, fuck it. I just want it to get through. But yeah, those are my predictions for qualifying. For the actual race, I'm going to say... I don't know if Alonso actually has the race pace to win a race outright in that car. I mean, so far, the first weekend, I can't remember what happened. I felt like we didn't really get to see what he could have done. The second weekend, I remember it was because... we had the grid penalties and stuff, which he had to serve, which means you don't really get to see how he could have battled Perez and that. But, he finished P3, so he was up and around it. You're still, I think, a way off the other two. I don't think Alonso will win the Australian Grand Prix. I reckon Verstappen will probably win. I'm going to say Russell. I don't want to put Russell on the podium. Why would I say that? I'm going to say I don't want to just say Verstappen, Perez, Alonso, but I feel like that's just, if I've got to go for predictions on what I think is most likely just by odds, then sure, I'm going to say Verstappen, Perez, Alonso. It's so fucking boring. If any DNFs in the race, I'll go with Sargent and De Vries. Sargent and De Vries. Actually, no, I'm going to go for Sargent, Yuki Tsunoda. And is there anything else? Fastest lap. Fastest lap, I'm going to give to Perez. Again, he'll go for a similar thing. He's going to try and take fastest lap this time and do the flip reversal of Verstappen did. And driver of the day, I'm going to give to Lewis Hamilton. Do I even really believe that that's that likely? Nah, because I think he's going to qualify that high, so that likely to get driver of the day. I'll give it to. I don't know who to give it to. I don't know. I remember Albon had a decent race here last year, didn't he? Is Australia the one where he... Was it Australia? I felt like it might have been Australia, the one where he basically didn't pit for like the entire race until the last lap and he managed to get the point. Yeah, because he got a point in like his second or third race in Williams and it took George like 5 years. I don't know, I get it. But, that happened. And then it was gas and stuff. So he had a decent race last year. So I'll give driver of the day to Albon, actually. Albon. Those are my predictions. I know this is quite short, especially for what is meant to be a podcast, for it to be 10 minutes. But I have just done one before this for the Pod a Day channel and football video before that, talking Mason Mount. So just sort of very tired, voice very dry, and I gotta go eat. So those are the predictions. I didn't write them down, so hopefully I remember those. Well, it's not even till like next week. So far away, but hope for, I was hoping there'd be one this week because, start of a new season. You think they'd give you they'd give like an early sort of double week end thing just because we're back here to wait so long, We'll give you a double on the first week. No, second week, no. Make us wait. Do every other week for the first 2 in a row. That just, I'm not sure. I think is Azerbaijan, Baku after Australia. If it is, I don't know if they're making us wait a week and again for that one. But God, I hope so because they're really blue ballsing. Blue ballsing, is that a phrase? You can be blue balled. I don't know if it's called blue ballsing. Anyway, what is this now? I think this was episode 9 got hards on. Well, we got our hards on, man, and we're going to the end. See you next week.